Bam! Okay, I'm doing a super quick video because this stupid subject, don't like it. Somebody one individual was requesting this subject even though I've done it 20 times. So you guys, when you wonder why I'm kind of talking on the same subjects, it's because people really request some of these common subjects. They may not find older videos even though I've put them on playlists, but I'll do one anyway just to do kind of like a follow-up. So I did a video the other day about drinking alcohol, how people have this kind of sort of false thinking that they can get into ketosis because it drops your blood sugar. You're having a hypoglycemic response, which is very subjective. Things are tested over time, so let's get that out of the way. So now no alcohol at all. Now the refeeding. Now what people don't understand is, what is the state of your pancreas prior to doing a ketogenic protocol? A lot of you guys do keto because it's for vain reasons, right? You want to get the business, or you want to get lean, which I often say to people that there's a lot of subcutaneous fat, so you don't really get that paper thin. You're just really, really healthy. So somebody said to me, why don't you try to get the last squares here on my abdominal wall? And I said, well, I'd have to go down about 3 or 4% body fat, and I would have no lady bits if I did that. So I'm really happy with my physique. This is good, not lower. But with that said, a lot of people think that they can refeed and it will bump up their metabolism. And when you ask these people how that is done biochemically, they don't have an answer. So is restoring glycogen making you reset your metabolism to want to burn faster? I mean, it's confusing, right? Does keto and using ketones burn body fat, or is it refeeding, adding the carbs back in? Because if you carb cycle, you're never in ketosis. Remember, you can make ketones in 6 hours of not eating carbs, right? Like you're on a road trip, you just haven't eaten anything, but that doesn't mean that those ketones are being used. 9 times out of 10, or 80%, they're not being used. So that's not sustainable. So when you have depleted glycogen and you create and make a few ketones, it's not enough to make the brain happy. So then you have to refeed, yeah? Because if you're not going to the mile, because people go through the keto flow. Let's get it twisted. You come from a land of carbs, and then you do a ketogenic protocol and cut your carbs down to 20 net from cruciferous or 20 total from whatever carbs, and your brain's like, hello, where's my glucose? And it will pound in your head, and it'll make you feel awful, right? You get headaches because your kidneys drop water too quickly. So there's a lot of stopping of the keto flu when you refeed, and then you feel fantastic. As soon as you drop your carbs, your body thinks it's starving. So you actually slow down your metabolism every time that you drop your carbs. So then when people go do fitness competitions and they're doing 2-a-days and they're recycling, they're doing every 10 days refeeding, of course you have to refeed. If you're never ever in ketosis, then it makes sense to refeed, which actually puts you on a blood sugar roller coaster, which actually just creates more damage to the thyroid. Because the thyroid's like, pick a side, right? You're going to do the keto thing, because I'm working hard, to make these darn ketones that end up not being used. Or are you going to do the dang glucose thing and the glycogen so I can just have my energy, right? But then you got to eat every 2 hours as to not go empty on your glycogen storages, because that makes your adrenal glands go into gluconeogenesis by secreting cortisol. So we're not winning for losing, y'all. Like, you're stuck in a rock and a hard place. Anything that is done fast with the intentions, like the intermittent fasting garbage, if it's because intermittent fasting, a lot of people have damage. People are like, what's wrong with intermittent fasting? I lost so much weight. I'm like, did you do a DEXA scan? Did you test your body fat percentage and your muscle mass percentage to your body fat prior to fasting? No. So everybody's listening to Dr. Fung and to, what's his name? I forget his name. The bald doctor who runs, who doesn't look healthy, but he's got a lot of great information. I don't want to get it twisted on him, but the reality is not everybody has the same metabolic health. we are very similar as human beings, but that doesn't mean our metabolic health is the same. We all have different levels of hardcore damage, right? A lot of you guys have anxiety, depression. You know, a lot of you guys have low testosterone. That doesn't make for fasting. You know, in fasting, the body has very incredibly detoxification pathways. If you just learned how to detox better, you wouldn't need to fast. Just take the crap out of your diet. I don't know how many times I'm at the gym and guys are going like, you know, like just, you know, what kind of protein shake do I get? I'll go, dude, this stuff is processed. Just eat real food. It's not quantum physics. If you just eat real food and get to bed early, keep your stress down, boom, the body is very happy. Very happy. Protect your DNA. So, yeah. Calm down, stop. I'm just saying. So, it is very, very, very important for you guys to not look for quick fixes when you do a ketogenic protocol by the fasting. You think you're going to drop all this weight, but you actually spike your insulin, spike your glucose when you refeed on carbohydrates, right? You get this freaking high. Your serotonin, dopamine are like, and then you crash, right? Because now your pancreas is over-secreting too much insulin, which is going to slam down your glucose, and then comes back the carb craving. So a lot of people who do refeeds and carb cycling develop severe food addictions. And men, the anorexia and the food addictions is real. Nobody talks about this kind of stuff, right? Low testosterone, a lot of you guys are doing testosterone because your testosterone is too low on these wacky diets, right? Bunch of cardio, carb deplete, not in ketosis. You ain't in ketosis just because you're making ketones. Not in ketosis. Body starts going to hardcore gluconeogenesis because there's no glucose. There's not enough glucose for all the workouts you're doing. You burn a little fat. You break down a little fat because the body's so desperate to get some kind of nutrition in. But then the thyroid, right? The adrenals start to get wacky, and the thyroid starts going, and the testosterone goes, and your body's trying to conserve energy by not running on peak level when you are depleting. You're depleting, but then you're over-exercising. I mean, make sense out of that. I mean, make sense. We don't do that in the wild because we didn't have bills and cell phones and you know, have to detox toxins. So the body has to work extra hard in the modern day, even though we're not starving to death. And it's crazy. Nothing ever makes sense. You're like, well, they fasted, so we can fast. Well, no, you're overstimulated. You are overstimulated. Half of you guys can't sleep well. Men, your testosterone is low. Your DHT is high. You're having xenoestrogens dock onto your estrogen receptors, and your receptors are being blunted. They can't even take in the nutrients because you're malabsorptive. And then you want to refeed? You guys got to dig deeper. It's not black and white like that. I know when you look at all the bodybuilder forums, they're just like, do this and do that, and like, bam, you could build muscle and all this stuff. Body's way more complicated. So I'm able to get lean and muscular. It is not genetics. It is epigenetics. Because I've been eating well for a long time. And I've been exercising for a long time. And I've been protecting my organs for a long time. I worked for that. I worked for every single bit of this physique. I didn't sit on my butt and go, I have good genes. Stupid. Ridiculous. Hello guys, wake up. Yeah? I come from a family that does not have this physical affectation. They don't have it. We have to think about epigenetics. If you refeed, you're going to create hunger addiction. You're going to slam your insulin up, which is hard to get out of the bloodstream, guys. You might be able to clear out the glucose. You can't clear out the insulin. Yes. So this creates blood sugar dysregulation. You have problems getting your glucagon and insulin to work together. Pick a side. If you're going to do carbs, eat carbs every 2 hours. Low glycemic carbs, eat it with the fat, so it slows down digestion, so you don't have big glucose spikes, you don't have insulin spikes, you don't have all this blood sugar crap. Eat real food. And if you don't want to do carbs, and if you do keto, you better like get real patient, because you got to get through a mountain of damage before you do it. Refeed creates damage because it creates adrenal problems, because you slam up and down and up and down. And all these regulatory systems are screaming when you refeed. Right? Glycogen goes up, glucose goes up, and insulin starts stacking in the bloodstream, fracking you up, and then you deplete again, and then you do a bunch of cardio. I don't get it. I don't do any cardio. I've got a busted knee, 10 surgeries, used to be a pro skateboarder. I'm stronger and leaner than I've ever been in my life, and I'm almost 50. Come on, guys. And you can be as young as you want to be. You just have to protect your DNA. You want some energy? Then get off the caffeine and learn how to get your body to have energy on its own. We have these incredible, complex bodies that are like a symphony of balancing things. And when you keep taking exogenous sources, then your body doesn't know how to balance on its own. All right, guys, peace out. Don't refeed. Do keto. It takes a while. Depends on how much damage you have. Get your macros on point. Learn as much as possible. And don't believe the hype on the internet, including me. Do your research before you make your decision. If you want to learn more, go to stephanieperson.com. I've got sirens going outside my window. So I need to get my cortisol down by breathing diaphragmatic after this. What was I going to say? You can go to stephanieperson.com. I've got downloadable diets. Yes, I'm trying to expand what I do. Long story, I say that in every video now. But go to my stephanieperson.com. You can also go, and I also have consultations. You can go to Stephanie the Business Person on my Facebook fan page, more sirens. Or you can go to Steph the Business on my Periscope, where I talk to you guys live, and you guys see that I'm not full of shite, and this is not girl science. This is freaking like talk to everybody science, over 2,000 people. Or you can go to Stephanie Ketogenic on my Instagram, or I think that's it. That's all of them. I've got Twitter, which is also Steph the Business. People are telling me to do Snapchats, but I just, I'm like over social media out, because I'm also on YouTube. So, you guys want some energy? Fix your adrenals and your gut and your reproductive hormones. And women, don't follow these bodybuilder diets. I keep seeing women in my gym who do these stupid, they're not stupid, but I mean they're quite fascinating, but do these stupid as far as what you do to your body for the fitness competitions, and you see that their T3 is like down and then they blow up after the fitness competitions. Learn more about keto if you want to fix your health and balance your weight, and I'm about to peace out. Bink.